This week in sports, we kick off with the NFL, and I mean literally kick off with the Kansas City Chiefs, where they dismissed their former All-Pro do-everything running back, Kareem Hunt, after video surfaced of him assaulting a woman. Now, this video, which was released by TMZ, and by the way, if you want to get somebody caught up, if you want to catch somebody doing some shit, go holler at TMZ. I'm talking about they find more dirt on people than the goddamn child support people and student loans. And by the way, Robert Mueller, if you really wanted to close your case, hire TMZ instead of the niggas you got working with you. But moving on. This video also goes in complete contrast to the stories that accompanied the still pictures before the video was released. Now, let me just say, I am totally against domestic violence. I am totally against assaulting women. I truly am. I was raised not to hit a woman, and I will not hit a woman unless it's to protect myself from being killed by her. I also believe in equal work, equal pay, and equality to the utmost. So, if you are a woman who feels you are big enough, bad enough, and bold enough to put your hands on a man, then you have to understand and be prepared for the consequences that follow, because most men don't think like me, and also Them Hands University does not discriminate when it comes to whooping ass, so you best be careful. Now, the still shots and headlines that accompanied this story before the video came would have you to believe that this man totally brutalized, savagely beat this woman, as some of the headlines that I saw described it as. But that was just not true. After pressing play on the video, I saw that the woman was indeed on the ground, but it was not because he pushed her. She was ran into by someone he ran into, and it was just a chain reaction. Now, as far as him kicking her, yes, he put his feet on her, and you should not put your feet on anybody, male, female, white, black, whatever. You shouldn't kick anybody. But he didn't just rear back and kick her like he was kicking the game-winning field goal in a Super Bowl like they led you to believe. It was more of a nudge, and again, it was wrong. But what was also wrong was how all the blame was assessed to him. Again, he shouldn't have did what he did, but everybody was quick to jump on the bandwagon because of the optics of the situation without knowing the full story. Now, ESPN just came out and confirmed that the woman in the video was drunk and belligerent. She hit him first, and she called him a nigga. Now, again, I'm not saying he was right to do what he did. I'm just saying I understand why he did it. It's not what I would have did, but everybody don't think how I think. Over in the NBA, for the first time since the season kicked off, there was absolutely no smoke on the court this week. I know, shocking, right? But there was a very interesting quote from Kobe Bryant towards LeBron James that I thought I should talk about. In this quote, he said, and I quote, "Things MJ was doing, he learned from David Thompson and Jerry and those guys. Stuff I've done, I learned from MJ. Stuff that Bron does, he learned from me and playing on the Olympic team." Let me just start from the beginning. Listen, the stuff that you learn, let's scratch off learn and put copied from MJ, because that's exactly what you did. You copied how he played, you copied how he walked, copied how he talked, copied how he chewed gum. Hell, I think you'd have married Juanita if you thought it would have made you better on the court. Now, as far as what Bron learned from you, I don't know what all he learned, but I do know what he didn't learn from your ass. And he didn't learn how to pass from your non-passing ass. Hell, I don't think you would have passed the salt during dinner for Thanksgiving. Hell, your stubborn ass wouldn't pass gas. And I'm honestly believing you will live forever because your ass will refuse to pass away. Don't worry, folks. I'll be here all week. And also, according to Reggie Miller and Chris Childs, he damn sure didn't learn how to fight from your ass. Speaking of fighting, did you guys see the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight on Saturday night? Man, I was highly disappointed. I talked all that shit thinking that Deontay was gonna beat the shit out of this man within the first 5 or 6 rounds. Man, I was wrong. He let this soft, fluffy golden girl take his ass to 12 rounds. Now, without that last knockdown, I do believe that Tyson would have won on points because he was all over Deontay's ass. But at the end, Deontay dropped him like a goddamn bad habit, and that was the longest count I've ever seen, and the only reason why Fury didn't lose that fight. Now, I just can't see him winning after being knocked down twice, and because of that slow count, I also believe that's why the judges gave him a draw. Now, my inner Negro will not allow me to say that Deontay Wilder deserved to lose that fight because he didn't. He got robbed with that count. Speaking of getting robbed, millions and millions of people tuned in to watch this fight, and over 10 million people illegally streamed this fight. God damn. Now, I ain't saying that it ain't true, because I went to a nice spot to watch this fight, but I thought something was kind of odd because we were watching an American fighter fight on American soil, but the announcers on the street we was watching was speaking in goddamn Mandarin. Well, and finally, in other boxing news, Floyd Mayweather... Shit. Floyd Mayweather versus Tenshin Nasukawa fight rules have been announced. Now, first of all, this is an exhibition fight between the two, and the rules are as follows. 3 minutes per round for 3 rounds. Straight boxing rules. Both will wear rising 8-ounce gloves. The weight will be 147 pounds. There will be no judges, and this will be a full contact competition, but the bout is not going to be on boxing or MMA records. Man, listen. Floyd, I understand what you're doing. This is a money grab. You got to do what you got to do to get your money. But here's what I think. You fighting this dude, and this dude ain't used to just boxing, so he's going to get his ass beat, presumably. And at some point, he's going to get tired of you hitting him upside his head, and he might revert to his old self. And that's when...
It's time for Reggie to karate-size your ass.
And when he does this and knock your ass out, you going to want to fight him for real. And that ain't a good look, man. Listen, after you get your money for this, just leave it alone, man. Walk away from the sport, train your fighters, get your money, and live your life. Please, I'm begging you. This week's episode has been brought to you by the fine folks over in Niagara Water. Last weekend, I drank too much brown liquor, and my kidney and liver need a goddamn break. I will see you guys next week.